Hello, friends. My name is Aslam Sheikh, your host for this evening. I'm the founder and CEO of Aleph, a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. This is our 59th webinar series and broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every Friday, we aim to bring in the valuable speakers to discuss the topic that is important to you and for your career. Those who are joining us first time, let me do a quick introduction of our company so that you know who we are and what we do. So here is a screen share for you. Well, the company name is Aleph. It's the first alphabet in Urdu and Arabic language, which signifies the beginning, and hence we kept this name to signify your first bold step to go abroad for higher education. Our company established in 2008, 2009. We have counseled over 23,000 students so far. We maintain a very healthy 100% admission ratio to the universities we represent and 95% visa ratio. We represent 14 countries, and we are affiliated with the international and national bodies which are in front of you. We were also awarded the top 10 most recommended overseas education consultants by Insight Success last year. What we promise is the 100% guarantee to the admission once we accept your applications matching with the university profile. These are some of the international universities and colleges where our students studying bachelor's, PG, and master programs. We also help you to get the scholarship. Up till now, till 2019, we had 23 crore rupees worth scholarship distributed or offered to our students by different universities across different countries we represent. We offer career counseling. That's the first step. So if you're confused about your career, what step to take after your 12th or bachelor's, then we have an in-house tool to help you to identify your strengths and weaknesses and to help you to choose the right course. We also help you to get the IELTS coaching, which is almost compulsory by almost all the colleges and universities we'd like to apply for. Our company got a Silver Partner Award from British Council in the year 2019-20. And of course, for study abroad consulting, we help the student right from student profiling, which means identifying the right college, country, and course, then application, making an SOP, applying for education loan if you're looking for bank loan facilities, help you for the visa, fee transfer, air ticket, foreign exchange, pre-departure, and finding the accommodation before even you fly. These are the countries we represent across different continents of Europe, North America, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. Well, we are very active on social media, so do join us, follow us, or connect with us on our YouTube channel, Facebook, whereby you would find a lot of insightful material, videos, and contents which will help you to make your decision to go abroad much easier. Of course, these are the pictures pre-COVID, whereby we used to do a lot of events physically, personally, and since COVID, we have been involved very actively on online events, which you would have a chance to have a look at it on through our social media. But the purpose of to show you these pictures is that to tell you that we visit our students wherever they study. We take our counselors to visit those colleges and countries and have a first-hand experience before they even counsel you. Well, talking about me, I've counseled 1,000 plus students. I've traveled to 14 plus countries. I've been certified consultants by the ISEF, WEBA, and British Council. I'm also the executive member of Bombay Industry Association in Bombay, which is one of the oldest association in India. And I'm also being the ex-president of BNI Plus, which is the world's largest networking platform. I'm also very active in a different chamber of commerce like Swiss, German, American, etc. I was also chosen among the top 10 best consulting leaders to watch for in 2020 by Knowledge Reviews. So that's about us and about our company. And let's move on to our today's topic, and which is very interesting and first time ever we are touching of this topic of scope of pharmaceutical studies in Ireland. And to discuss this exciting subject, we have with us an expert speaker, and let me do the honor of introducing him. Hello, Deepak. Welcome.
Hi, Aslam. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you, and welcome to the show. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Let
a
me do
million.
the honor of introducing you to our audience, Deepak. Okay, great. So Deepak Luthra is the admission director for the Griffith College, Ireland. He has got 17 plus years of international education sectors experience and presently heading the Griffith College, Ireland as a director of admission for South Asia. As an international recruitment director, he is responsible for the development, implementation, monitoring of customized recruiting and marketing plans for international students from South Asia region point of view for Griffith and its tri-campuses situated in the beautiful cities of Dublin, Cork, and Limerick. So let's formally begin, friends, today's session, and let me have Deepak answering the questions which we have accumulated here based on the queries usually what we receive from students and parents. So Deepak, once again, thank you for being on the show,
Thank you.
and let
Yeah.
me quickly introduce you some of the very hot questions what the students and parents are eager to get answer from you as an expert of Ireland education and the director of admission for Griffith College.
Well,
So
I
shall
don't know
we?
how thank you so much for those kind words, and thank you so much for having me here. I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge and to my experience. I'd say this.
Uh, Thank you, Deepak. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's begin. And before I begin, let me quickly share some very interesting facts which I have got with me about Ireland. So, friends, one of the facts which I would like to start is that the Mr. Leo Varadkar is the first Indian origin who became the Irish Prime Minister in the year 2017, and he's from Sindhudurg, a state of Maharashtra. And he was the 14th Prime Minister of independent Ireland. So that's give you some context of having a very strong relationship with Ireland in this context. So let's begin on this positive notes and talk about this topic. So, Deepak, we would like to understand from you about the pharma industry. We have heard a lot about Ireland being the front runner for having the maximum exposure of the pharma companies in the island. But we would like to know more about it from you about the scope and opportunities of the industry and its presence in Ireland. Deepak.
Well, it's huge actually, and talking about the pharmaceutical sector, it's the most in latest times, as you can say, in COVID times, it has become the most important sector talked about, right? What is the pharmaceutical industry doing, and how are we well taken care of? Ireland puts itself and positions itself as the second largest pharmaceutical researcher and developer of the world.
Wow.
Not only in pharmaceutical, plus a front runner in medical device technologies also. I'll list a few advantages of the pharmaceutical students who have come to Ireland. They've been very satisfied with the sector because not only being the second largest the pharmaceutical researcher of the world, 19 or the 20 pharmaceutical giants of the world are present in Ireland. We talk about Pfizer, GSK, Novartis, the list goes on. In the recent times, in about last 3 to 4 years, because of the Ireland's tax subsidy policy, even Indian pharmaceutical companies have been successful in putting up their basic the R&D centers. Like to name a few, would be Reliance has put a base. Earlier, it was Ranbaxy. Now it's taken over by Sun Pharma. It has a base. Walk Hard basically is a very famous company from India. They're also present in Ireland. So I would say, and plus to that, 8 of the most famous drugs known to mankind are manufactured in Ireland. So we're spread out in the entire country as a pharmaceutical sector, very well known as an R&D base. Bausch & Lomb has a very big setup in terms of contact lenses. And students or watchers or viewers would be surprised when an Indian heart goes to the hospitals and says that I need a shunt. So hospitals generally have packages, which would you like an imported shunt in the heart, unfortunately, or you'd like an Indian shunt. So that's very imported shunt is manufactured in Ireland.
Wow.
So students who are coming from India, specifically from the pharmaceutical sector, are very well absorbed in the sector also.
Okay, great. That's something which is very fresh for my ears as well, and I learned a lot from your answer. Thank you very much. And I'm sure that you are getting a deep dive into knowing the industry and how the pharmaceutical industry is having a strong presence in the country of Ireland. Let's move on to this topic further, and let's talk about Deepak. If as a student I would want to be a part of this growing industry of Ireland and be a part of the success story of Ireland pharmaceutical industry, how Griffith College can help me to identify the programs, maybe considering that our students may be listening from the 12th background or maybe a graduation background?
Well, Ireland particularly is a master's market, I would say. As per the statistics of the embassy also, before COVID times, basically, we used to have meetings together. So 97% or even more applications are for the masters. So, in my experience, also we have two types of programs that I'm going to shortly talk to you about. That all the students who come are basically already pharmacy graduates, and they know how to make a drug or explain the content of the drug, but they don't know how to manage the pharmaceutical sector, the market itself, the multi-billion-dollar industry. So Griffith College particularly, or Ireland in its own, is famous for masters when the students are attracted to do a pharmaceutical Pharma, as we say, or as R2 program, let me enlist right now, is a master's in pharmaceutical business management or a master's of pharmaceutical business and technology. So all these students who are from the bioinformatics background or from the biopharmacy background or the pharmaceutical background or the D Pharma, which is the 6 years graduation here, which includes an internship, the doctorate of pharmacy, are very much attracted to understand that now I know how to make a drug. Do I know how to sell a drug? Or do I know how to work in a pharmaceutical company? Or can I become a CEO of a company one day? I don't know the management, how the sector. I don't know the logistics. I don't know the financial sector. How to sell a drug is very much different how to make a drug. So that's right. What our program at Griffith College, the pharmaceutical business technology and the pharmaceutical business management program, is so successfully being given out to the students, and particularly from the south of India. When I say south, I'm talking about Mumbai, the region of Mumbai, Kerala, Bangalore, Chennai. We've been recruiting very good students, and they've been absorbed very well in Ireland.
That's right. So students, if you are coming from a pharmacy background and would like to make a career through a master's program in Ireland, this is the place to look for. Thank you, Deepak. And moving on to this point, we would like to now know, once as a student, I choose Ireland as a destination for my higher education, maybe Griffith for master of my programs. How does Griffith help students to embark onto their career journey, and what kind of opportunities Griffith can help them to find out?
Well, you're a veteran yourself, but I'll list down the stepwise procedure. Basically, that ultimately, what first thing is that if you choose Griffith as a destination, that first of all you have to understand the program and the background and the entry requirements, which of course I'm sure you will be able to explain it to the students when they approach you. But Ireland government itself, along with Griffith College, invites you to put in the application. We handhold you from an admission stage, which comes through your office to us, and we basically put you through the visa procedure. Once the student is there, and I have to underline this fact, all our masters are for 1 year. We do require an IELTS for an entry requirement. We do require a considerable percentage to enter into the program. Once the formalities are done, when the student is admitted and he's got the visa, and we can talk about that so shortly, he comes and studies a 1 year master's. And the Ireland government supports this very big cause to the students, that they want the students to have an opportunity in Ireland. So once you complete your master's, which is a level 9 in Ireland, you get 2 years to stay back, or what I called a job search visa, the government calls it. And it's a breathing space for you to apply for your work permit and continue your working there.
That's right. So the student get 2 years of work permit or 2 years of open work permit?
Well, it's not called a work permit. It's a breathing space, which I term it as, but the government terms it as the job search visa, an opportunity to convert it into a work permit.
Right.
Absolutely. So, and it's a beautiful arrangement for the students to be absorbed, because those students are not expected to get absorbed in about 6 months or 3 months time. Earlier, in fact, 3-4 years back, it was just 1 year. So the government realized that the hiring procedure might be a little, let's say, slow, because you got to go through multiple interviews. And even if in one company, you might have got to go three times or 4 times. So they extended that 1 year into 2 years. And I think a 1 year master's and 2 years of job search visa in a country, you've got 36 months, basically 3 years in the country, is well enough to understand the people, the work culture, and to get absorbed. And in my experience, I've had a fabulous track record, at least at Griffith College, and the experience in Ireland has been that all students have been absorbed, unless they never wanted to get absorbed and wanted to return to their native country.
Absolutely, and that's very encouraging information which you've shared with our students and parents. So, friends, if you are looking for a career post study, then you have got the job search space, job search time, which has been allocated to you for 2 years, and you add your 1 year program. So that gives you 36 months and a good enough time, as you rightly said by Deepak, to identify the right career opportunities for yourself. Deepak, on this note, we would like to move further. But before moving further, I just wanted to share some interesting information about Ireland again with our audience. That friends, do you know that Ireland is the whole home to the oldest yacht club in the world? And that's something which is I found out during my study, and I was not knowing of. And also the Halloween, the festival which we usually organize or celebrate, is also been originated in Ireland. So these are some interesting thing about Ireland. Let's move on to the next topic.
One more
Uh,
interesting fact about Ireland, I'll tell you. 17th of March is St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. It's a big celebration in Ireland. You know, the White House fountain goes green, the Niagara Falls goes green, the Leaning Tower of Pisa goes green, and also the Opera House in Australia goes green. So
wow.
that's the respect of the Irish. But what do the Irish do? They paint their sheep green.
Okay, great. So Ireland making the entire world go green on that 17th of day of the
17th
month.
of March. It's a big day,
17th of
yes.
March. Okay, great. Thank you, Deepak. So my next question would be, uh, we would like to know how's the student life like in Ireland and across these three campuses where we have got our presence.
Well, first of all, Griffith College has three campuses. We are the largest private university of Ireland with about over 8,000 students. And we've got three campuses, Dublin, Limerick, and Cork. Dublin being the most premier campus and the most oldest campus. If the students go through our website, they'll see the big 7-acre campus. Some buildings are as young as 30, 40 years old, and some buildings are as 250 years old. So
Wow.
it's a heritage come contemporary campus, which they enjoy. It's lush green, and they enjoy that campus. The second campus is their Cork campus. Again, it's a 5-acre campus on the Military Hill. The third campus is Limerick, which is an urban campus in building. In a building, students enjoy certain programs there, but 90% of the programs are run in our Griffith College, basically. So in Ireland, this is the best. That's a very good question you may ask me, and vital for the students to understand. In
That's right.
13 years of my experience since 2007 in June, I've never had a single student complain that some problems of racism or distraction was given to them. Every student, whoever has gone, has always complimented the Irish. And as a nature, they are very welcoming. And they are just like our Indians. They love to open their doors to people, help out people. And more importantly, the most important thing about being a European country, it's an English speaking country, right?
Hmm.
And
That's right.
that's the most important thing about Ireland when it attracts students, that the challenge of language is not there. The
Hmm.
people, the language, the absorption, all there, Ireland offers all the ticks in the boxes which the students are looking for. And just to mention, while the previous lockdown was there last year, all international students of any nationality were being given 300, about 1,400 euros per month in their bank accounts. And we've got
Wow.
testimonials from students. One of my students, my friend's a child who's also studying there, Nishant, he gave us a video to mention that I, during my part-time work, used to get about 1,000, 1,200, but under the lockdown, I'm getting 1,400 euros per month in my account.
Hmm.
That's big
Hmm. Hmm.
support to the
Absolutely.
students.
That says all about how the Irish government and they looked at the international community and especially the international students. That's really
Oh, it's a
remarkable to
beautiful
know.
country, and not to mention the lovely beauty of the country, which is famous for Ireland and its people.
Absolutely. 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 Thank you, Deepak, for that's very vital information which you shared. And let's move on to quickly to the next topic. Here, whereby most of the students would want to know and they want to learn from you that how do they get the part-time jobs, or if internship is a part of the course in case, then how do they identify those part-time jobs, and what amount of income they would account, and what would be the living expenses to be in Ireland?
Well, three verticals of this question was let's say how much are you allowed to work? Part-time work is allowed 20 hours per week and 40 hours during vacations. Now, pre-COVID times, we were very confident of saying, yes, you will be allowed in bars, restaurants, clubs, or other companies which you're allowed to work. But obviously, the hospitality industry, the tourism industry has really taken a blow. So as of today, if the students are traveling to Ireland, but obviously we say be well prepared for some living expenses, at least till the COVID times or the lockdowns or things don't get back to normal. Again, underlining the fact that pre-COVID times, basically it was all students used to report back to us that they're during their 20 hours per week and 40 hours during vacation, and the minimum wage rate of Ireland is 9.25 euros per hour, which is the second highest in Europe. Right? So they used to report to us, somebody is earning about 800, somebody is earning about 1200. My own nephew used to earn about 1400 because he got a good job. So he used to get about 11 euros instead of 9.25. So that's the standard. So you have a comfortable life in terms of living expenses. It depends merely on the city which you're going. All which has risen during these few years is rent. So Dublin would be the most expensive. We're looking at about 9,000 euros to 10,000 euros annually, and about 7,000 to 8,000 euros outside of Dublin in a city like Limerick or Cork, basically. So the living expenses can be managed, but that was pre-COVID times. Under these COVID circumstances, we are telling students, you have to have a little bit of patience. But Absolutely. Some intelligent students, specifically from Bangalore, said, I would like to come to Ireland, wait it out, and educate myself, and I know I have another 2 years to send, so I don't expect that much of an earning which I was expecting earlier. So sensible students are still coming to Ireland and making it big. Let's put it this way.
Absolutely. Thank you, Deepak. And that's a very fair reply to this very important question. And just to add to it, friends, we also help the students as a consultant to identify and help you to identify the online jobs. Because of COVID, there are a lot of online jobs which you can do it from any part of the world. We have got a good access of these companies and these kind of profiles and these kind of jobs, which they are looking forward to get it done by anybody who is ready to chip in those many hours in a day. So we do help you in order to do a part-time job at the comfort of your house. Let's move to the next question, Deepak. How's the current situation in Ireland with regards to COVID, and if student is looking forward to join the September or next incoming intake? What he needs to be prepared for?
Well, again, two verticals of the question. How's the situation in Ireland? I was just reported a few days back by my colleague Kevin that after 5 months, shops have been allowed to go back. Still, bars and restaurants are closed. From a student perspective, it's very positive that student visa applications are still being accepted. If the VFS is opened in the state you're applying in India, basically, if, for example, if you're applying in Mumbai, if the VFS is open, the embassy is more than happy to take your application. And applications for September for visa are open now, right? So you can apply, get your visa, marked it. The entry date would be set as September, and yes, you're allowed to travel. As of today, there'll be, if you have the vaccine done, that the Covaxin one, which is known in India as Covaxin, as of today, the report says from the health ministry that you will have to quarantine, but you don't have to do a hotel quarantine, right, for 14 days. You can just let the government know where you're staying, and they'll be looking out for you, right? But if you don't have a vaccine, you are allowed to come. However, you have to have a 14-day hotel quarantine, and we are subsidizing that from the tune of for 30% to 50%, basically, depending upon how many students are together. So Griffith College is also helping the students, because obviously when you're staying in a hotel, it will cost you about 150 euros per night, right, including food, or possibly excluding food in some cases. So if you're looking at about 1,800 euros, we want to subsidize that. So we are helping the students, but that's the situation. If you have the vaccine, you don't need to quarantine, but you need to be. You can go on your own accommodation. If you don't have the vaccine, hotel quarantine for about 14 days. But yes, you're allowed to travel. We are open for business. Our applications are open. The visa applications are open. That's the good news.
Thank you very much, Deepak, for being the bearer of this very positive and strong and good news for the students who would want to go to Ireland and join the upcoming intake. So, friends, I'm sure that the Deepak conversation was very clear about the COVID situation. I don't need to repeat it. So, that's the scenario, and the Griffith College is ready to also help you to subsidize the living expenses in case if you're not vaccinated and want to stay in the hotel. So, thank you for that, Deepak. Let's move to the last part of our conversation, Deepak, and I'll ask you the rapid questions, and I would expect you to give me answer in less than 10 words. So, are you ready, Deepak?
I think I'm having coffee with Karan, no coffee with Aslam.
Okay, so let's give a competition to Karan now. And let's start with the first question. How many intakes does Griffith offer?
We have two intakes, January and September. Let's put it this way, September and January for this year.
Thank you very much. And what's the fees approximately in terms of Indian rupees, preferably for masters and bachelor students?
Our master's fees is about 14,000 euros, but there's a scholarship from about 2,000 to 3,500 euros. That depends upon the student's academic records, right? And in Indian rupees, if I say an average fees about 12,000 rupees, it's about 9.5 lakh or between 9.5 to 10 lakh rupees for the complete master's, depending on the euro rate, which is about 88 right now.
Right. So thank you very much. Is Ireland a part of the UK?
No, not at all. Now, this is a good question. We're the Republic of Ireland, and I'm wearing a flag of Ireland also, India and Ireland together. So the flags are very different. So it's not the Union Jack which we hold. Ireland is Republic of Ireland, different from Northern Ireland. Yes, you can travel in the Northern Ireland until the borders are basically decided of the Brexit thing, but it's absolutely Republic of Ireland with Dublin as its capital.
Thank you, Deepak. And in fact, this question was asked to me by our beloved immigration officer in Mumbai, that you are going to Ireland, but where is your UK visa?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let's move to the next question. What is the hourly wage rate? I know that you mentioned this for one more time in Ireland.
9.25 euros per hour for part-time workers.
Okay, that's a minimum wage rate, what Deepak is mentioning. Thank you, Deepak. And the last question. One unique thing about Ireland is
their people. Okay. They are lovely. They are. I have a story for another day, but I would say 13 years in Ireland. It's a beautiful country. The people are very much hospitable. They love inviting you at your homes.
Thank you, Deepak. So I would say, just to add to Deepak, it's the most friendliest nation I ever visited in Europe. With due respect of all the other countries.
Well, you know something, the Lonely Planet has a website, which is one of the most famous websites in the world for tourism, votes Ireland as the first most friendliest country in the world every year.
Wow, that's a testimonial. That's a big testimonial.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, Deepak, do we have any answer for this question? I'm not sure whether would you like to take this question.
Is PhD program available in occupational health? Ireland loves to invite students for PhD program. However, Griffith College does not have it. But yes, you can, Vishal, you can actually Google this information. You can apply with other universities and colleges and see. Yes, there will definitely be a PhD available. Occupational health and safety, 100%. It would be available. However, you'll have to research it. My knowledge about, because it's not limited to my college, so you can have a research on it and apply for it.
Thank you.
Or probably Alif Overseas can help you with other universities and colleges.
Sure. Thank you, Deepak and Vishal. That's the answer for you. Okay, great. So thank you very much to our all listeners who are watching this program or who will be watching after the recording is available on the respective platform. And thank you very much to our today's speaker, Deepak Luthra, for spending and investing his time and insights to educate our audiences, students and parents who are listening to this program.
Well, thank you so much, Aslam, for having me. I hope the good times return and I can visit your office and we can have, instead of virtual meets, we can have a physical meet and we can go back to our regular hugs and talking to students. Thank you so much. Be healthy, be safe to all our listeners also.
Thank you, Deepak. Really love to have you again physically available to meet. So friends, thank you very much for joining us for this interesting session on scope of pharmaceutical studies in Ireland. And if you still have any question, I would like to ask that please do not forget to connect us on our helpline number That is 9987099890, or visit our website alif.in. Our experienced counselor will be happy to assist you instantly. My name is Aslam Sheikh, founder and CEO of Alif, signing off with a promise to come back again on next Friday, sharp at 5 p.m., with another interesting topic and some amazingly talented speaker enlightening you on the subject that matters to you the most. Until then, stay safe and stay excited.
Thank you.